Hi, kids. Today's letter is S. And you know what starts with S? 6-game losing streak. Well, welcome in to another edition of the PHNX Diamondbacks podcast right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montiel, occasionally known as a man that has a pinched nerve in his back thanks to this baseball team. I am not alone, of course, on the ones and twos. I got my guy Damon Dog joining me tonight, and he is as miserable as I am watching this Diamondbacks offense. Once again, do nothing, put together no real threats, and lose a baseball game. This time it's a score of 5-1 to the Athletics. We're not going to call them the Sacramento Athletics. We're not going to call them the West Sacramento Athletics. We're not going to call them the Oakland Athletics. That's definitely not what we're supposed to call them. But what we will call them is the winner of this game. And Diamondbacks now don't really know what winning is even like anymore. The Diamondbacks have indeed lost their 6th game in a row. It is currently the longest losing streak in all of Major League Baseball after the San Francisco Giants won tonight, and their record stands at 51-59. And yeah, Scotty Mack says they are losing every series the rest of the season, and I don't even know if they are even going to win another game the rest of the season. Be interesting to see. They are 1-9 in their last 10 games, and over that stretch, they have been outscored 50-14. So there's that. And the Diamondbacks have 7 runs in their last 65 innings, which is really the story of this team. The Detroit Tigers really put it to the Diamondbacks, so I'm not going to act like in that series at any point were they even close. But it does really feel like 7 runs in their last 65 innings is a big reason why this team has lost as many games as they have. Will they ever win another game again, Damon? I guess that's the question of tonight. If they don't win against the Athletics, they do have the Padres coming to town next week, and that doesn't look very good. After that, they have the Rockies, and I would normally say that there would be a good chance if they don't win a game by then that they'd beat the Rockies. But the Rockies just had one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen in Major League Baseball against the Pirates tonight. They were down 9-0, and in the first inning, down 9-0 in the first inning, and they still came back and won that game. And I don't know what that's like. Seeing some of the scores around Major League Baseball tonight, I can't even imagine with the way the Diamondbacks are playing baseball right now. I can't imagine them putting up 7-8 runs. It doesn't even seem like it's believable, right? That is something that will happen. But this was another abysmal offensive showing from the Snakes here tonight. Just 1 run in this game, 8 hits by the team. Lourdes Gurriel had the best night of anybody, going 2 for 3 with a double and a walk. Perdomo was 1 for 4 tonight. Ketel Marte was 1 for 4 with a double. Alek Thomas, 2 for 4 tonight. But at no point did the Diamondbacks really put together any kind of offensive threat. And again, this was against an Athletics team that doesn't have a very good pitching staff. They're position players and their ability to put up offense is just fine and has been all season long. But this is an Athletics team that really their weakness is their pitching, much like when, you play other certain teams and they don't have very good pitching, you hope to see the Diamondbacks do something. And again, being beat is one thing. Putting together the performances offensively that we're seeing this team put together ever since, I guess you could date it back to Josh Naylor being traded away, is pathetic, quite frankly. And I know that they've lost more pieces since then. Obviously, Gino being a huge piece, Randall being a huge piece of this team. But again, there are stretches where guys like Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, and Geraldo Perdomo carried this team offensively even when those guys were a part of this team. And despite the fact that they did have some hits tonight, it just, again, this was another night where watching the Diamondbacks out there on the field, they didn't look really engaged. They didn't really look like they were trying to win. They didn't look like they thought they were going to win. And this is definitely something that falls, as many of you want it to fall. And this is definitely true. It falls on Torey Lovullo, because Torey Lovullo not having this team prepared to play baseball, not having them motivated in any way. I mean, it's getting to the point where the seat is only getting hotter for Torey. And if the Diamondbacks want to make a change, a managerial change, that's something that, they can do this season so that they could try to see what perhaps maybe Jeff Bannister as a interim manager would look like, or whatever the case may be. However, I would also suggest that if Torey Lovullo is on the hot seat, the guys that should be even on the hotter seat are the new addition to coaches, which have been screamed about, probably not as much as Torey, but possibly louder than the anger at Torey, and that's Sean Larkin and Brian Kaplan. But I don't really know what to say about this team offensively. Defensively, they were fine, I guess. I mean, we didn't see them make a lot of mistakes tonight. That really wasn't the issue with tonight's game. Essentially, the issue with tonight's game was Anthony DeSclafani starting and the Diamondbacks offense not really getting going in this one at all. In the good news department, Tyler Locklear did make his debut tonight. He didn't really get a chance to, I mean, you could say he put together some fairly good at-bats, but you could tell he was a lot of nerves, a lot of anxiety there. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. Did have a walk, so that was nice to see him take that in one of his at-bats. He did strike out twice, but he also made an incredible play in the bottom of the 7th inning to end the inning against the Athletics. And it does appear that we might have our next Christian Walker at home. So, I mean, again, that's me definitely being insane about prospects. But we are going to talk about the prospects and how the trades that were made by Mike Hazen definitely bolstered the Diamondbacks' top 30 prospect listing and improved a farm system that vastly needed to be improved with the way that it has been depleted. And again, part of the reason why it's been depleted is injury. The other reason why is because a lot of the guys that were part of the farm system not too long ago are now on this team, making this team whole. But at this point, this is, this was one of the worst performances, again, that I've seen, especially at a ballpark that's a minor league ballpark that you can really take advantage of the size of the ballpark, the dimensions, and the fact that it's, a fairly friendly offensive park to play in, right? So this was just, I don't know, an atrocious offensive performance. The Diamondbacks did get a run. I was convinced that they weren't going to get a run in this situation when they had runners on second and third with one out. I was convinced they were somehow going to botch it. I didn't know how, but I was like, even with runners on second and third, they're going to hit into a double play. But Corbin Carroll did get the sac fly, did score the Diamondbacks' only run of the game, and that's how the Diamondbacks get to 5-1. But I'll tell you, there are a lot of problems with this team. We're going to talk about the pitching and how things went tonight. But again, we don't really, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter how good or bad the pitching is, because tonight's performance, the Diamondbacks could have gotten 2 runs allowed from their pitching staff, and they still would have lost tonight's baseball game. Steven Banana says, why don't we give Christian, I'm guessing Mena, Christian Mena, chance in the rotation? Who says Mena is hurt, I believe. This is the problem. Gilbert Diaz was recently demoted from AAA Reno down to AA Amarillo, I believe, to make space for the new additions to this team. But that's kind of crazy, considering that Gilbert Diaz was an option for this team as a starter at one point, and now he's back down to AA Amarillo. There's been a lot of shakeup in their top 30 prospects because of the additions of those new guys, but that's the future. The now does not look good. The now does not look like the Diamondbacks are, like I said, ever going to win a baseball game again. I know that these pieces that they have can still do it, and I am glad that they are giving guys an opportunity. Tyler Locklear getting the start today is a great chance for him to not only start getting that major league playing time under him so that he can feel comfortable, but a chance to truly assess him playing at a major league level to see if this guy is, in fact, the first baseman of the future for this team. Tyler Locklear put up some crazy numbers in the month of July in AAA Reno, or not Reno, excuse me, AAA Tacoma. So again, there is the fact that it's the PCL. It's not as hitter friendly of a ballpark. Damon and I were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, actually, I did some pretty deep research, and by deep research, I mean I asked AI, and ChatGPT told me, Derek, that while Tacoma is a hitter friendly park in general, as far as PCL standards, it's actually one of the lesser hitter friendly parks. So I think that you do have to factor in that, there is an aspect of playing in the PCL, but it's not as if he's playing in Reno, which is statistically like the easiest park to hit in.
Absolutely.
Tacoma is one of the less hitter friendly ones in that league.
This was at one point, this was 16 games into July. He was slashing 477, 532, 877 for a 1.409 OPS. I think he ended up with some more home runs than this, but 7 home runs, 16 RBI, 5 doubles, 5 stolen bases. So again, some good things here from Tyler Locklear, and he's going to get an opportunity, as is many young guys. The word is from Mike Hazen that when Jordan Lawler is healthy, he is going to be which will be here shortly. He will be added back to the Reno Aces for a few rehab starts, and then he is going to get called up as well. So it would appear at this point the Diamondbacks, as we know, have already kind of given up on the idea of being competitive this season, but we will get a chance to see a lot of the young guys play, and it's going to be painful. It's not going to be great, but it's going to also be kind of cool to see these guys develop and adapt and see which one of them could potentially be our big leaguers of the future. There's a good chance it's not going to be all of them. There's a good chance it might not be Tyler Locklear. Blaze Alexander might not stick around, but Diamondbacks are giving guys an opportunity. Right now, nobody is really grabbing that brass ring for this team. But again, there's plenty of opportunity going around. Damon, when does this losing streak end for this team?
Never.
I
don't know if this team's ever going to win a game again.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just do it now. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's look at the NL West standings, Derek.
Oh, no, I don't want to do. Why are we doing that?
Because I want to talk about.
Oh, God, no, Damon, no.
I want to talk about how the Rockies are going to catch the Diamondbacks.
Okay, let's go. Throw it up there. Oh, God.
I told you.
It's the drunken orgy.
I told you.
Oh, God.
Last time we showed this on the show, Derek, at the NL West, you told me, no chance. I don't know, man. The Rockies have a vibe to them, don't they? They got a little bit of a vibe to them. We might be at infinity now.
I mean, we might as well be at infinity. I would rather look at infinity than the Diamondbacks being 13 games back. Now they sit at 51 and 59. Nothing's changed. They're still in fourth. They
Yoshi, I know. Only 21 more games.
Yeah, we're only 21 games up, Damon. That's all we're only 21 games up.
Only 21 more games until the Rockies tie us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, because obviously the Rockies are going to go on a 21-game winning streak, right? That's the way that's going to work.
I mean, we're definitely going on a 21-game losing streak. God, that's for sure.
Stop it. But yeah, no, I mean, some people are calling for a historic losing streak. Let's get to 24. Why not? If we're going to be bad, let's be really bad. Let's get ourselves a good draft pick, right?
Yeah, let's get the best draft pick we can.
Let's get the best draft pick we can.
We're tanking, baby.
Yeah, it's tank season. Let's get the tank tops out and bring out the tanks.
I will say,
drink Tanqueray.
You made a comment about how the team is, not going to factoring to be competitive for the rest of the season. But
sure.
Torey Lovullo made a comment pregame, Derek, that spoke a little bit to the contrary.
He did make a comment, and I mean, there is pressure being applied. Like, this isn't a free ride for anybody at this point. And again, there's criticism and there is pressure on the players. These guys they're playing not only for pride, but some of them are playing for positions in the future, right? But it's very apparent that Torey Lovullo is well aware that his job is on the line. And, again, when you talk about that Rockies team, it didn't take them very long before they fired their manager this season. And they were really, really bad to start the year. But the Diamondbacks right now are as bad as I've possibly seen them since the 2022 season. 2021 season, in fact, when we first started doing this podcast. It's come back around. So yeah, and it should be. I don't think that he deserves to have a free ride just because, you know, it's obvious that the team has given up, right? Like, there was a period of time where they were playing bad baseball, but they were still winning games. They were hovering around 500 and losing the teams that they had no business losing to. Now it's different. Now this is like, I've used the word listless when I talk about their performances offensively entirely too often, but it's all I can think of. It's not like, oh, they're running into bad luck, or, oh, they're being overly aggressive. No, in fact, now I think that they are being underly aggressive. I think passive aggressive is about as much as you could describe their approaches at the plate. And again, I do know baseball is like this at times, right? And I do know that the Diamondbacks especially seem to slump as a team, right? That's one thing that's been very annoying about this team under Torey Lovullo's watch, and you know, Mather as well. Like, the fact that this team does slump all together, and again, you can't really explain that at times, why they're just all bad offensively. Now seems to definitely be that stretch. Like I said, these numbers are just kind of incredible to me when you really think about them. Being outscored over their last 10 games, 50-14, and only scoring 7 runs in their last 65 innings of baseball. Maze Devil, thank you for your super chat. Let's take a look at the super chat statement while we got them up. I just want to talk to you guys. I don't want to talk about this baseball game. Maze Devil says, name one good thing about Brian Kaplan. He's a
good-looking guy.
I was going to say, he seems to be in good shape for a man of his age.
He's a handsome devil.
He's a very handsome gentleman. Yes. I can't say anything else good about him and his performances as a pitching coach. However, again, there's a lot of things, like, all you can really base it on is the results, right? So Brian Kaplan might be a fine guy. He might be a great pitching coach for all intents and purposes, and the way people in the organization think of him. The results are what they are. The catastrophic amount of injuries mixed with the subpar I can't even say subpar, the awful results of this pitching staff there's no reason why that you would think that he has done a good job at all as a pitching coach. It's similar to Sean Larkin. Sean Larkin's job has a lot to do with the infield defense and the base running, and both of those have been very bad this year for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And not to mention the way that the calls have been working. Don't even get me started on doing this and this at the same time. My ex-wife is here in the chat. My ex-wife says, I'm excited for Clayton Tune to play some football. We're not doing that. We're not doing that on this show. We're not getting excited for Clayton Tune on this show.
Well, first off, Clayton Tune probably not even making the team for the Cardinals. So sorry to burst that bubble. But second off, we are in the D-backs era of, like, when Clayton Tune was starting for the Cardinals for that one game where the Browns won like 30-0. That's what this D-backs team feels like right now.
Not great. Not a great I don't like that comparison one bit, Damon. I don't like that comparison one bit. So I'm going to get out of here. We got to go on. We got to do a commercial break because I have to talk about the pitching in this game, and we're going to give King Snake out to somebody, and you never guess who we're going to give it out to. Not in a million years. So don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, tonight is a great night for Pure Edibles. Not only do we need to forget this game, but we need to go to sleep, and not go to sleep angry. We want to go to sleep with an uplifted mood. And of course, our friends at Pure Edibles can help you with all of those things. They have a wide variety of strains and doses that you can check out, and an amazing array of flavors. They are not just a THC, vehicle kind of situation. They are a full-fledged candy company offering you more than just gummies. They offer you hard candies, chews, and their kicks, which are their version of Starbursts, or as I like to say, maybe now and later, a little bit better of a description. I'm just taking liberties with that myself based on my usage of it, but I will definitely be enjoying some pure edibles after watching the Arizona Diamondbacks offense once again in this game, and you should too. You can get them wherever you get your edibles here in the Valley, and they were created in Flagstaff, Arizona, the home of Noble Herb Dispensary, and they are now made right here in Phoenix, Arizona. So go get yourself some pure edible products from one of over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. And talk about making my mood better. A great way to do so would be for me and Damon to escape this studio and go have a great night out at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Because again, you don't need to stay there, even though I highly recommend a staycation for all of you out there that need one before the summer ends. But it's a great place to go out and have some fun. They have over 4,500 slots and live table games, and their live table games are state of the art. They have some amazing roulette tables that they're just easy on the eyes. You know what I mean? They're just some real beautiful tables where and when I say easy on the eyes, you don't have to use your eyes to look over at the spinning wheel because it's just projected down on the table in front of you. Some incredible stuff to be had out there at Gila River. But the most important thing you should check out is the Gila. The BetMGM Sportsbook at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. I'm malfunctioning there momentarily, but it is the place to go watch sports. You go watch baseball there, maybe not the Diamondbacks, but you can go watch other baseball teams there, and all sorts of other sports. You get that paper ticket in your hand. It's the ultimate place to watch and win. Place your bets and experience the excitement. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playathila.com for more details. Well, our Aunt Ina is here. Ina says some decent starting pitching arms on the waiver wire right now that might do well with change in scenery. Yeah, Marcus Stroman. It's our chance to finally get him, right? Yankees cut ties with him.
I'd actually, why not? At this point.
Honestly, why not? Because are we really going to watch Anthony DeSclafani start for us every 5 days? Is that what you want? Is that really the plan here after watching what happened to him tonight? He was terrible in the first inning, and quite frankly, I've reserved judgment about Disco. I wanted him to be good, and at times he's been very good as a member of the bullpen, but having him go out there and start, even though it was a great way to reset the starting rotation when they did have him do it one time, is not a viable solution for this team. It was one of the worst outings that we've seen since Fott's yes hitter. The A's just rocked him in the first inning. There was very little he could do. He was attempting a weird, I don't know if you noticed this, Damon, but he was attempting a weird, like, reverse aggressive approach where he was like going with like breaking stuff outside of the zone instead of going with the like first pitch fastball. And it was not fooling anybody. It was not fooling anybody in the Athletics dugout there. The two singles started off the inning. Then the first run scored on a sac fly. Then with one out, Shea Langoliers, aka his nickname is Mangoliers, which is awesome. That's awesome. I can't hate on that one bit. He hit a 3-run bomb to mangle the Diamondbacks and put the A's up 4-0. That pretty much DeSclafani went out, gave the Diamondbacks an inning and a third more after that. But again, his line, 2 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 0 strikeouts. We don't even get to fire up the strikeout meter tonight, which is good because it's good for the planet, but not good for us. And not good because I can't remind you guys that if you you just go out there and text yourself to strike to 31310, you can save on all sorts of stuff. But that's only when strikeouts happen. Zero strikeouts. That's not great. The Diamondbacks did have 3 strikeouts at a team, but none there for DeSclafani. But overall, just not something again that the Diamondbacks can really do. Damon, they can't have a bullpen game every 5 days. This bullpen is already bad enough. Could you imagine actually trotting out a bullpen game every 5 days? Get Bryce Jarvis up here right now. Get somebody else up there. Give someone else an opportunity. That's where I'm at.
Yoshi is banging the table for some Bryce Jarvis ball. Why not?
I'm 100% on board with that. 100%.
It's hard for me to even muster up the energy to be like,
I know.
This guy needs to be in the rotation. Like how could you possibly feel that way with how this season has gone? Honestly, I'm more interested in terms of what the future holds than anything in the current forecast, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, and that's at least something that you can have a little hope for going forward, but we still have to watch this game for 2 months. We have
Don't
to watch
remind
this
me,
team
brother.
play baseball for 2 more months,
For
right?
a job.
Oh,
We
man.
have to.
Bullpen, Kyle Nelson is back. He gave the Diamondbacks a inning of scoreless baseball, so that's nice. He did walk 1, struck out 1. Jake Woodford did what Jake Woodford does. He gave up runs, he gave up hits. 2 1/3 innings pitched. He allowed 5 hits. Again, another stretch where felt like he was very ineffective. Gave up 1 earned run. Jalen Beeks did come in to clean up a third of an inning there for Woodford, and then John Curtis gave the Diamondbacks 2 innings of scoreless baseball, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. He also had the team's only 1-2-3 inning of this entire game. So you know what that means. John Curtis, you're our goddamn king snake. Damon, throw him up there. I don't care. I told you would never expect it. You never saw it in a million years, did you? John Curtis, 1-2-3 inning, the only one for the D-backs tonight. I was going to give it to Gino on the Seattle Mariners, quite frankly, but unfortunately, he flew out in the at-bat I was watching at the time. But, yeah, why not? John Curtis, you're our king snake. Maybe one of the only times John Curtis will ever get this kind of award. But hey, I appreciate him. I appreciate his efforts. Quite frankly, no one deserved it. There were multiple candidates, and they weren't Diamondbacks players. So, but let's take an awful look. Let's take an unnecessary look at the numbers from this game presented by our friends at Desert Financial, because this is whatever. It's whatever. It really is whatever. The Diamondbacks get outscored 5-1 by the A's. They get out hit 11-8. 8 hits. It doesn't even feel like they had 8 hits. It doesn't feel like they put 2 hits together, even though I know that also happened. Bad. 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. A's 2 for 15. Not much better.
I gotta say, 8 hits did shock me to my core, Derek. When I put this graphic together after watching that game, the fact that the Arizona Diamondbacks somehow mustered up 8 hits. Where? When?
Yeah.
Who?
Who did it?
How?
Yeah.
Why?
In this game? All of them were in this game? Yeah. Hard to
Proof?
2 extra base hits, both of them doubles, 1 by Cattell, 1 by Lourdes. 4 extra base hits for the A's. A lot of those came in the first inning. And then expected batting average, of course, very, very close, 228 to 237. It's a ridiculous stat, and it's once again makes me believe I don't need to ever think about expected batting average or expected stats in baseball. But again, it does show how close these teams were. Outside of that first inning, the A's really didn't do much to anybody besides DeSclafani, and the Diamondbacks lose this one by a score of 5-1. Let's see. What's going on, Damon?
Just 2 BMCs just said, never mind who or how or even when. Why is the real question? And then just screamed why. Why?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I don't have an answer about this team. I don't have an answer about anything. I think that trades happen. I've seen people talk about this being a business quite a bit, right? Slumps happen, but this one definitely feels like it was caused by the trades that were made, by the Diamondbacks' lack of success, by their failure to be a better baseball team by the time they got close to the trade deadline, right? And I'm sure that the pressure of losing their teammates and their pressure of this thing falling apart instead of coming together has been weighing on their minds for longer than just the couple of weeks around the trade deadline. I have a feeling it was weighing on their mind in early July. I have a feeling it was weighing on their mind last month in June, or we're in August now. But yeah, Mays Devil, I don't disagree with you when you say they're mentally weak. And again, that's the part that I think definitely falls on Torey. And Killer X asked me a question about, hey, Derek, you put it in the form of a super chat, so you're making me acknowledge you and read you, but I wouldn't do it otherwise. I don't want to talk to you, Killer X. He says, hey, Derek, quick question. Should we fire Torey? My answer is no. That's my answer. Wow. That's my answer.
Clip it.
There's my answer.
Clip it.
If you want to know. Who else wanted me to get involved? Pat Brown wanted me to get involved with his Fire Torey article. And I was just like, nah, I don't want to be a part of this. And again, you guys know, as Killer X has said on almost every single podcast he's commented on, I'm a shill for Torey and the Arizona Diamondbacks, even though I don't make a dime off of that. But what I will say is that overall, I think that there are other pieces that need to go. But if Torey did get fired, I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I really be like up in arms, I think, about the move. I think at this point, if the Diamondbacks continue to play like this, Torey being fired, it feels inevitable, right? Because you can't have a team go on a 24-game losing streak. You can't have a team play this poorly when they still have the talented pieces that they have, right? But again, I do think that it's going to be weird, and it's probably not going to be something that we see happen. We probably won't see anybody change their roles until this offseason. And again, I wouldn't be tremendously surprised for it to be Torey Lovullo. And I do feel like he is kind of to blame for this funk that this team is in. And maybe they're just approaching it far too lackadaisically. I don't know. But like Damon suggested, he absolutely knows his job is on the line here during this stretch. And honestly, at this point, again, if the Diamondbacks do make that change, then, you know, I would love to see how this team responds to that and how they respond to whoever is in charge at that point, right? Because again, that it's almost like prospects. We wouldn't really know unless they did make that change if the team responded differently to a different manager. So
here's what I'll say. I don't think Torey's getting fired middle of the season at all. I think that you guys can kiss that dream goodbye. To Killer X's, accusations about the direct deposits, I'll put my hand up. Torey Lovullo is paying me. I have family dinner at the Lovullos every Sunday night. We break bread. We eat pasta. It's unbelievable.
You're telling them too much information now.
Yeah.
Next thing you're going to tell them is how we help with the Christmas lights.
Yeah, and Derek's there. But that being said,
that's too much.
I will even put my hand up and say, if this team continues to play like this, you can't keep Torey, because he has to figure out a way for this team to be competitive and play baseball. Otherwise, it's completely unacceptable.
For sure.
Because I would have said,
like I said, that's his job, and I'm not disagreeing with any of the accusations here. When Mays Devil said the team is mentally weak, I was the one that said that's on Torey, and I'm not alluding to anything different, because again,
they take on the shape of their manager, and Torey is emotional, and he clearly has gotten emotional about the trade deadline and losing players that he was connected to, and you can see it trickle down to the players.
Absolutely. And as much as I've said in the past, I do like the way he treats his players, and I do think that a lot of that is the reason why young guys are able to come up and find success. It also also is the reason why things like this get emotional, right? You guys were talking about Brad Pitt. Let's get Brad Pitt in here. Brad Pitt would be the first to tell you in his role as Billy Beane, you got to cut these guys. You got to trade these guys. You can't get emotional with them. You just got to, it's like me with the snake. I just gave him the number for the Mets GM and we called it a day. I shook hands with him and he's gone now. That's what happened, And now he's off on a podcast about the New York Mets, probably in a Grimace shirt or something, having a great time. And I will miss Jesse Jr., but unfortunately, sometimes those things have to happen. The tough moves need to be made. But the Diamondbacks,
as far as what Mays Devil says right here about, so if you don't fire him, you're accepting that he's bringing the team down. I think that it's a give and a take. A lot of the time the team is more bought in and wants to play harder for a guy like Torey Lovullo, and then in a moment like this where there's disaster, it hits them a little bit harder as well. So yeah. I don't think that it's a completely positive or negative thing, but when things are going good, they're going really good. But when things are going bad, they're going really bad.
Go back to his question, because I just want to see it really fast so I can address it. So you don't fire him, right? Which you're asking me to fire him, which, yes, I agree you don't fire him, because who are you going to bring in? You're going to have Jeff Bannister take over, and I don't know how that's going to make things better. Maybe it does, but what I'm saying about him bringing the team down is what we're seeing out of the team is not acceptable. And again, it's not the fact that they're going out there and trying and not really seeing the results. I think everybody watching this team is seeing quite a few components of it not really look like they are, like they're trying, right? I mean, that's the best way to put it. It looks like players on this team aren't trying, especially in their at-bats. So I feel like that definitely is a reflection of Torey. But again, I also think it's, overall just one of those things that you have a lot of bad things happen to this team. And I think a lot of guys might have been checked out for a while once the 10th and 11th Tommy John surgery happened. That tends to be a moment where you just kind of give up. And it feels like this team has given up for longer than just this stretch where they're playing this bad baseball. But it definitely feels like it was compounded by the trades made and just a lack of life from this team right now. But do you want to put the NL West standings back up there or no? No, probably not. No, this is gross. I don't know why I asked for that. But
the Giants suck too, by the way.
The Giants do suck. They did win. Like I said, the Giants would have the longer losing streak if they would have lost today. But they did find a way to win. But I do, again, applaud the Rockies for this amazing comeback that they've had. And one thing that was hilarious to me was to hear our guys over at DNVR describing how it was literally pandemonium over there because of this one win. And I don't know if the Diamondbacks fan base has that in them at this point. Maybe if they do go on a losing streak and we snap it at home, maybe then. Maybe if the Diamondbacks do get swept here by the Athletics and then they somehow find a way to win a game against the Padres, maybe we'll all lose our minds, especially if it was in a comeback as big as what the Rockies did tonight. But I just feel like at this point we are very beaten overall. So this is where we're at, and the Diamondbacks are definitely not playing good baseball at all. People are asking about Mark Grace being manager, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, you don't want that. And that's no disrespect to Mark Grace, but also
that's just classic. Like, well, what's former player that was on one of our best teams ever? Could he be in charge? And it's like, I don't know. Maybe Craig Counsell should have been the move.
Maybe Craig Counsell should have been.
Maybe Ken Kedrick should have dipped into those pockets and paid whatever it took to get Craig Counsell back in Arizona.
Also, Bob Brenly is retired. Do not call that man. Do not bother him. He's busy calling games and judging other people and having a good time. But
guys, Bob Brenly is so old that he doesn't travel to all the away games. I don't think he's spry enough to be the manager.
No. But all right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of this break, we're going to talk about things other than this game. We're going to talk about the Diamondbacks' future and what they did here with their additions via these trades to their farm system. So don't you guys go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, you know the name, and if you've lived here in the Valley, you've heard about them for a very long time. They are legends in the game, but you might not think of them when it's time to actually do your flooring. So make sure to think about Empire Today, because they are flooring experts and they can make sure you get the job done right. Not to mention the fact that you don't want to go out to a big box store and have to deal with trying to find somebody and hoping that that person is the person that works in the flooring section and hoping that they're the ones that can get you started on your order, because that won't happen with our friends over at Empire Today. They live, breathe, and sleep flooring. They are flooring experts. They will bring the flooring to you, and they will be with you every step of the game. It's a whole new ball game with our friends at Empire Today. They're flooring experts that bring the showroom right to your floor. That way you can pick the right flooring in the right colors for your space. You can see how it looks with your furniture, see how it looks with your colors and your walls, and get precise measurements taken and have all of your questions answered so there are no surprises. With Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing, plus you can schedule installation as soon as the next day, because nobody likes to wait. So schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. PHNX listeners can receive a $350 discount when you use promo code PHNX. You heard me right. That is $350 off with code PHNX. Restrictions do apply. Visit empiretoday.com/PHNX for full details. And it is no secret that everyone in Arizona looks for ways to stay cool and comfortable during the summer, but managing your energy bill is important too. Both doing a lot with your smart thermostat is a big part of saving you money. And let me tell you, smart thermostats can do a lot. They can help you schedule your temperature so that way you can have it be cool when you're home, and raise up and save you some money when you're not. You can also adjust your temperature when you're away. The best feature, by the way, is the fact that you can see on your smart thermostat app You can see exactly how many hours you've been using your cooling for. And don't forget that over 50% of your cooling or energy costs comes from cooling your home. So make sure to save money today. APS customers may be eligible for smart thermostats for as low as $0 when you enroll in the APS Cool Rewards program. If you already have a smart thermostat at home, see if it's eligible to enroll in Cool Rewards. Plus, free installation is available at marketplace.aps.com. Must be an APS customer and pay shipping and taxes. Other restrictions apply. Go to marketplace.aps.com for more information. All right, Damon. Well, we know that the trades have mentally destroyed the Diamondbacks Major League team, but hopefully these trades will make the future of this team better. MLB Pipeline has taken into consideration all of the new players the Diamondbacks have received, and they are right now the team that has added the most players to their top 30 prospect list in all of baseball. Look at all these guys. This is a lot of fun. So all of the blue guys that you see there are all the new additions to the Diamondbacks top 30 list. And here is where they all fall. Tyler Locklear, who made his debut with the Diamondbacks tonight, first baseman. He is the Diamondbacks' number 6 overall prospect. Pitcher Cole Drake, he falls in there at number 7. Then you have pitcher Mitch Bratt that comes in at number 10. So the Diamondbacks added 3 prospects to their top 10 prospects list, which I have to admit, it's pretty good, Damon. That's pretty good right there. But then you factor in David Hageman. He is there at 14th. Ashton Izzy, newest PHNX D-backs follower, by the way. Big fan of Ashton Izzy around here.
Our new sweet baby boy,
Ashton Izzy.
Fan of the show.
He is 15th. Brandon Garcia also made his debut with the club already. He is ranked 20th. Then you have Hunter Cranton and Juan Burgos. Burgos made his debut with the Reno Aces tonight. He posted 2 scoreless frames in his debut. He is 25th. Hunter Cranton, 23rd. So again, some big additions to the Diamondbacks top 30 prospect list. D-backs did a great job here overall, even though they were sellers at, improving their farm system, which between the injuries, the call-ups, and everything else that's gone on has been fairly depleted. They did the thing. They added starting pitching, they added relief pitching, and they added Tyler Locklear, who now could be the Diamondbacks' first baseman of the future. Jonathan Mayo over at MLB.com ranked the teams that basically brought in the most prospects. They did have the A's as the number 1. They did the best job there after trading away Mason Miller, which is fairly incredible on the return they got. They got the number 3 overall prospect in all of baseball.
The A's are building a dynasty. I'm convinced.
They're going to be so good when they finally land in Las Vegas, which, by the way, there's reports now that their stadium is going to cost more than Allegiant Stadium.
My goodness. I'm envisioning a scenario where they're in their like Houston Astros on Sports Illustrated cover era, where like they just drafted Carlos Correa and they're predicting the Astros are going to win in like 8 years.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the Athletics right now. Like they have so many good young players on their team. And also like how Vegas would it be with how the Golden Knights jumped on the scene if they like went to Vegas and immediately
immediately became a winner?
Yeah.
It would be very cool. It would be a great way to make people not mad about this move, which is never really going to happen. I mean, that's one thing I do want to address is that seeing that championship banner out there in the outfield for an Athletics team that should not be playing in that ballpark. I don't want to attack it, but we all know what it is. It's just like the Tampa Bay situation. It's pathetic. It's really bad that Major League Baseball does not have a better remedy for this than this. And this isn't even just a temporary situation. At least what happened to the Tampa Bay Rays was due to weather, right? It was poor planning. There was other factors as well, but that was in a way an act of God. And what has happened here with the Athletics is ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. A team with this much history, this many championships, they just deserve better. They really do. Once again, I said it when the Diamondbacks were going through their drama with Chase Field, but if this can happen to the Athletics, it can literally happen to any team in any sport, it feels like. But back to the Diamondbacks adding to their prospects list, by the way. The Diamondbacks were ranked 3rd as far as the top 6 teams that added to their farm system here with a robust group of new incoming prospects. So they did a good job there. Some notable changes to the Diamondbacks top 30 prospect list, though. Drew Jones is now ranked 17th in the D-back system.
It's horrific. It's never been worse. It's the worst thing I've ever heard. Derek, it even looks worse when you look at it on this graphic.
Yeah. And he's down there with Gilbert Diaz, who I said just got demoted to Double-A Amarillo. And just above our sweet baby boy, Corn, a.k.a. Human Lin. He's now ranked 18th. But Drew Jones has actually been having some much better at-bats. Reportedly, his last 23 games, he's slashing .333, 400 with a .598 slugging percentage, and he has 12 extra base hits. So, again, encouraging as far as that goes. I feel like Drew Jones is going to be one of those guys that we're going to kind of write off overall, and then out of nowhere he's just going to come on. He's just going to come on out of nowhere, and he's going to start killing it, and it would be great for us for that to happen. But
I mean, that would be so huge.
It would be huge because right now he feels like a huge flop. And it wouldn't be it would just feel like the Diamondbacks finally had something go their way. But
I think Mike Hazen really needs that top 5 group of like Ryan Waldschmidt, Slade Caldwell, Jordan Lawler. Like, he needs those guys to actually start getting called up and start performing, because as I was highlighting to you kind of during the game, like a lot of the first round picks, man, outside of Corbin Carroll, they look a little bit funny when you put them up in the light, Derek.
I feel like, again, I've said this about Torey as a manager. Like, I think Torey manages better from an underdog position. I think that Mike Hazen might draft a little bit better when you're not when you're not in the top 3, right? He did a great job here with the other guys. Like, when you're talking about Slade Caldwell and Ryan Waldschmidt, those guys have kind of sped through the system already, and they are both having a tremendous amount of success in the minor league system. And these guys, again, it really is about quantity sometimes with minor league additions like this. It's trying to get as many young players as you can and kind of sifting through them and figuring out which guys are going to actually be major leaguers. Such a small percentage of guys make that successful jump from minor league baseball to major league. So again, the Diamondbacks are trying to just find in this group of guys, the next, great picks. I think guys like Cole Drake, left-handed starting pitcher, he is a guy that has had a lot of positive things said about him. And we are going to talk with our friends from DLLS next week to get their takes on the Merrill Kelly trade, because there are a lot of people over there in Rangers land that are quite upset that the Rangers gave up as much as they did for Merrill Kelly. And so that should at least tell you were a little bit of a win there overall for the Diamondbacks, even though they did part ways with Merrill Kelly. Interesting that the Rangers, though, specifically went out after Kelly, considering he's the one that got him in the World Series, right? Like, they were like they needed the one guy that got him. But anyway, Human Lin, he's now ranked 18th. Like I said, his ERA this season is 5.86 in 15 starts. So he's not having a great year, but his ETA per MLB pipeline is still this season. And with the way things are going, would you be surprised to see Human Lin this season? Not even a little bit. I would rather see Human Lin pitch at a major league level right now than Anthony DeSclafani.
I mean, I guess I worry that it's too early for Human Lin. I mean, we talked about his weight. He's 160 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 22 years old. I hope he spends a little bit more time. It's been insane that he's jumped up in the minors as fast as he has.
Yeah,
honestly.
I was surprised to see his ETA at 2025. Honestly, but oh well. Well, the Diamondbacks, again, need some help, and we'll see what moves they make. I still think Bryce Jarvis is a candidate to be a starting pitcher for this team. He was for the Reno Aces, and I think he could be at least a little bit of help there with the starting rotation. But we are going to talk about what's on tap for this weekend, because MLB is doing something crazy. They are once again doing one of their big game spectacles, and this one is coming from Bristol Motor Speedway, and we are going to talk all about it. So don't you guys go anywhere. Actually, again, I did it again, Damon. Today, I set it up for an ad break. There's no ad break here. We're just talking about the last day of the Die Hard sale, right? Last day, last chance, last few hours. I don't know if it goes away at midnight, but if you we're thinking about it. If you are getting excited, I can't tantalize you with baseball season. That would seem silly at this point. So I feel like all I can really say is like, maybe the Cardinals will save us. They're doing some fun things. Have you seen Marvin Harrison Jr. lately? That's fun. So again, get all the stuff here for Cardinal season. Get ready for Sun season, and yeah, stick around with us too here. Become a diehard for basically the price of one of our t-shirts. You will get one of those t-shirts as part of your membership package. You also can save on events and so much more. And you also get added to our Discord. And if you are looking for another place besides our live chat to have, a group of people that understands your pain, look no further than the PHNX Discord. So again, head on over to gophnx.com tonight, last night, to get in on that deal. Make sure you sign up for it ASAP. Like I said, this weekend we have some fun stuff going on, Damon. Some really fun stuff. The first thing we're going to talk about is the MLB Speedway Classic, which will be played tomorrow between the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds. And again, I've talked to you guys when we've been talking about the Phoenix Raceway Championship weekend. I'm pumped for this. I had become a NASCAR stan, and I'm ready to see baseball played at Bristol. This is going to be really cool. Interestingly enough, it is set to break Major League Baseball's regular season attendance record with more than 85,000 tickets sold. And I think, Damon, do we have some shots from the field, or what the field is going to look like here? Look at this. This is incredible. This is what the field looks like. Is that the only shot we have of the field? No, we also have this terrible shot. This is an actual view. Someone has purchased a ticket to sit here, and this is what this is how they are going to watch a baseball game.
I hope it comes with a couple beers with the ticket, because that's the only way that would be fun.
Like, this is one of those events, Damon, that like there's been things that have been ultimately very cool to be at, right? Like, to be at the Field of Dreams game is amazing and just like very once in a lifetime kind of thing. This is cool. I think this is going to look real neat on TV, but 85,000 people are going to be there, and some of them are going to have a view that looks very much like this.
Come on, Blue. That's a horrible call.
That's a horrible call. You called that a ball? It's obviously not a ball from where I'm sitting. I don't know. Also, here's another crazy thing for this race, or for this game. By September, Bristol will have to rebuild half of the infield garage building that they had to demolish in order to make the Braves clubhouse. What are we doing? How much money does Major League Baseball truly have when they can convince a legendary racetrack like Bristol Motor Speedway to just start knocking down buildings that are in their infield so that we can play a baseball game here one time?
I don't know. Way more than they let on, I guess.
It's crazy, right?
Because they act like they got nothing.
It's crazy. Also, there's other changes that were made. There was like a fueling station that was also destroyed. They demolished buildings to build this baseball field on there. It's just crazy to me. I do like the jerseys. I like. I believe the Reds have like a finish line, like a checkered flag on their hat, and I think it looks a lot like the NASCAR hats you typically get as a fan in a NASCAR race. Then the Braves have like little flames on their hat. Then they have special NASCAR numbers. All of it's very cool, but again, it's just kind of like a weird spectacle. Like I don't really feel like a lot of people are going to get great views of this game, and I think that it's all just going to be for the blimp shot. The blimp shot's going to be amazing watching this game, but I'm going to watch it. I'm going to 100% watch it. You know how they could have gotten me to be all in on it, though? I wouldn't have even cared about this other stuff if they would have just had a goddamn race happening during the baseball game. They still have a track. You mean to tell me they can't have cars? Like, even if it's not a real race, just have cars driving around on the track quickly. That's fun. That makes it better. I don't know. I just want that. I don't know how we're not having a race happening at the same time as the baseball game. Also on tap for this weekend, a couple of other fun things. One of those being SummerSlam, 2 nights of SummerSlam. For those of you that know me, know I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Welcome into the PHNX Wrestling Podcast.
That's right. You be careful. You be careful. You keep mouthing off like that. There absolutely will be a PHNX Wrestling Podcast.
I'll bring Kevin back too.
I'll bring Max in here, and he'll bring a pizza that's half spinach and half green pepper. That's what Max will do.
It'll be Max, you, and Kevin, and you guys can just riff all night.
I don't really want 2 nights of wrestling shows anymore, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. I know you guys don't care about that. Brandon Chips, thank you for your super chat. Brandon says, here's an interesting one. Say Gino late in his life becomes a manager one day. Do you think him and Torey's managing styles would be similar? 100%. 1,000,000%. Good vibes only, Gino? Which, by the way, I don't feel like we use that phrase enough when he was here, because going back into Seattle, they've already made T-shirts that say good vibes only. They have had him say on camera good vibes only at least 12 times. I've counted. It's amazing. Steven Banana says, pick any spot in the world to host a game. That's a great question. I think that maybe like a pitch, like Wembley or something like that, maybe, or like where
haven't they done that?
Have they done that?
Didn't they do the UK game there, or is that not? Was it not at Wembley?
Oh, probably was.
They just usually do all of the like other sports, like football games at Wembley.
Yeah, like I mean, they've got like the Field of Dreams. I think a lot of people.
That was so cool.
That was so cool.
How can you top that?
Like, they're not naturally, right? Like a Sandlot game would be kind of fun, but how do you do a Sandlot game? Do you have the Beast in the background catching home runs in his mouth? Maybe he can be mechanical. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas for that one, but I don't know. Location wise, I don't think that there's a lot of, like, I do feel like they've done a lot of cool things, which is why they've stretched it to doing it at a Motor Speedway. They tried their best to do something big and open. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like at the French Open, the clay courts. Play on clay, like the clay would be like the dirt on the infield. I don't know, but
like on an aircraft carrier, maybe, like how they've done
that would be cool. Games. Yeah, that would be cool. I would be okay with that. That would kind of rip. I like on an really aircraft
big
carrier.
Aircraft
yeah,
carrier.
yes. Oh man, but the most important thing that's happening this weekend is it is Damon's birthday. Damon Dog is turning 21 years old again, and I'm so thrilled. I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge all of the wonderful hard work this young man has done, not only working with us here on the Diamondback show, but for everyone here at PHNX. You do a great job. I'm very proud of you, and happy birthday, my friend.
Thanks, man.
We might have to go get a drink because we might actually get out of here at midnight at this rate, right? I mean, it's tomorrow, so that's why MLB is doing the Speedway Classic. It's in honor of Damon Dog's birthday, of course.
It's the 5th anniversary of my 21st birthday.
Good stuff.
Unbelievable.
His present is that seat that we just showed you. That's where Damon's going to sit watching the Speedway Classic. So happy birthday, pal. But hey, we appreciate you guys so much. We thank you again. Thank this guy. He does some great work around here. Not only is his years of work with the Cardinals show amazing, but now hosting the U of A show, doing work with me over here, dealing with me. That's the biggest thing. Is he deserves all the kudos for that. But we appreciate you guys again so much for being here. I completely understand that there is no reason to not only watch this team, but to stay up late on your Friday night talking more about this team after they lost 5-1. So I will once again say, I know your time is your most valuable commodity. Cannot thank you enough for sharing your time with us on this Friday evening. We will be back on Monday with another Mailbag Monday episode. So send us all of your angry questions about Torey Lovullo getting fired, and we'll do our best to answer them. Of course, until then, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at cap_caveman with a K. The birthday boy is at Damon Dog. That's a DAWG there at the end. And we are all Damon's dogs. Bark, bark, and happy birthday. Our show is at PHNX_DBacks, but as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Emily Williams says, D-backs haven't been the best. Haven't been their best. I want D-backs. We all do, Emily. We really do. We want to see chaos again. We want to see this team going out there, scoring runs, and most importantly, having fun playing baseball, which it very much does not look like they are having fun playing baseball. And I don't think any of us are having fun watching them play baseball right now. But again, we do appreciate you guys so much for your time. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. We will be back, like I said, with Monday. We'll also have some more information out there if you haven't had a chance to check out on our YouTube channel about the prospects. We'll have that out there in short form as well. So make sure to keep you posted on the new additions to the organization. But again, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Go enjoy some baseball, maybe not watching this team, but watching it played at a motor speedway, and behave yourselves, kids. Most importantly, remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it is so much more fun when your team can actually score runs.
We all silly like the mayor.